Does anything happen outside of Allah's will? No. So if I don't believe in Allah, is that because it's Allah's will that I don't believe? Do you see the difference? Yeah? So in our faith, God wills the good because He is good. In your faith, God wills what He wants because God is all sovereign. Muhammad Hijab said that there is a tsunami of apostasy. These are the words of your own Da'id. Is unbelief something that Allah creates in the person? He says no. His Qur'an says yes. So what you've just established here is that Allah will send you to hell for something that Allah makes you do. Is that correct?
He gave you a natural intellect though.
But
you in your life right now, Bob, this might be a message to you that on the day of judgment, Allah is going to gather everyone together. Everyone.
Yeah.
And He's going to judge between them.
Yeah.
Who did right and who did wrong.
Yeah.
A believer, Muslims of Islam in the 21st century have hijacked this point. That a Muslim, a believer, is someone who accepts Islam.
yes.
Yeah? A believer is somebody who believes in the oneness of God.
Does the devil believe in the oneness of God?
Yeah, he does.
So is the devil a believer?
But the devil, he refused to bow down when God told him in front of his face.
So the point
That's
is,
why the devil
belief
said,
in one. So let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. So the issue with what you've got is that the issue that with what you've got is that firstly, belief in one God ain't all that. That's the reality. Because even the devil believes in one God. 1 second. Even the devil believes in one God, and he is still going to hell. There are many monotheists who, according to your belief and my belief, are going to hell. So belief in one God ain't all that. There's something more important than belief in one God. But the other problem.
What's more important?
What's more important is submission to His will. That's more important. But that's more important than belief in one God.
Bro, that's what
So,
a Muslim is. A Muslim is something
No.
who submits and surrenders
No,
to
they
Allah.
don't. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
But
You don't know about Islam.
but I probably know more about Islam than you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
You probably do.
So yes, I probably do.
faith.
I probably do
And this
because remember,
conversation-
2 minutes ago you were saying
This
I'm not
conversation-
educated enough to talk to you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
That everything happens
So
in the will of
so when
Allah
I say I'm
subhanahu
more
wa ta'ala.
educated in Islam than you should believe it because I
No
am.
problem. You
Right.
can't tell me something.
So here's the problem that Bloodfire is exploring.
Okay.
Allah says in His holy book that nothing happens except that He wills it. So if someone doesn't believe in Allah, that is Allah's will. Now, would it be right of a ruler to...
Why are you questioning God?
1 second.
You're questioning
I'm not
God.
questioning
Hold on,
Yahweh.
right now.
I'm questioning
Listen, Yahweh ain't
the
no God.
sock puppet of Muhammad.
Who's Yahweh?
Yeah, I'm the true God. So let me answer you this question. If Allah compels you to do something, is it right that He punishes you for doing it?
I can't continue with this because you know why?
No,
You question
it's a fair
God.
question.
You question God.
You're running
I'm
away.
I'm warning the Qur'an to say
You are running away.
Yeah, because I want to stay
You're
away
running
from
away.
it. I'm want to stay
But you're
away
running
from
away
it.
from the problem
You're
in
blind.
your
Your
religion.
eyes are sealed, you're blind.
If a king, if this government forced you to do X, but then sent you to prison for doing X, would that be an just or an unjust government?
So what are you trying to say? If they do bad to you and they do good to you?
Did you understand the question, sir? You understood the question. Did you understand the question? So did you understand he understood the question. So let's ask it again. If a government forces you to do X, but then because you did X, sent you to prison, would that government be just or unjust? Unjust. So if Allah forces you to do something and then punishes you, for doing it, is that just? Do you understand the problem? Do you understand the problem? Do you understand the problem? Answer the question. Go on.
You're comparing government organizations to the kingdom of Allah Azza wa Jalla.
So it's an analogy.
And
Answer my question.
we don't know about the stations of Allah and what He's prepared in the hereafter. We have no clue.
Exactly. So here's the image that you're. But this is the problem. Here is the image, and I'm going to explain why it's a problem. I'm going to explain. I'm not questioning my God. I'm questioning your God, and your book invites me to do so. Your book says, listen to what the Qur'an says. Firstly, when it says the Qur'an is being recited, it says, pay heed that thou may obtain mercy. Secondly, it says in the Qur'an that if they, meaning the people of the book, were to find, if they were to examine this book and if it were from any other than Allah, they would find contradictions in it. So the Qur'an invites me to find contradictions in it, and with the belief that I won't be able to. Right. So you've just condemned a government for making you do X but then punishing you for doing X, but you believe that Allah makes you do X but then will punish you for doing X. That's what you've just said. Right, does anything happen outside of Allah's will? No. So if I don't believe in Allah, is that because it's Allah's will that I don't believe?
It's your own, basically, I'm going to explain to you now. There was a guy, this is a hadith as well.
Yeah.
There's a guy in the middle of a jungle.
Yeah.
And all his life, he's lived in a jungle. And
Yeah.
when he dies, God will send him to the hellfire. Why? Because God says to him, didn't you reflect, O servant of mine,
Yep.
upon who made the skies,
Yep.
upon who made the oceans,
Yep.
upon who made this creation,
Yep.
didn't you reflect upon who was the creator of it?
Yep.
So, in other words, the main thing for us is to reflect, and if you don't reflect, then you're doomed. You understand?
Yeah, but you haven't actually answered the question.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. God has gave you natural intellect.
Right, so let's...
God has gave you natural
No,
intellect.
but the question
Up to you
is,
if you want to believe
I
it.
believe you, I have a natural intellect. I'm convinced I have a natural intellect. So my point to you is, the Quran states that nothing happens except by the will of Allah, that He opens the chest of whom He wills to accept Islam, and He closes the chest of whom He wills to accept Islam, that He shrouds, He puts a cloak over their sight though so that they cannot see. Oh, this is what's in the Quran, isn't it? Right, so I'm not lying about the Quran. So that means that if I don't believe in Allah, it's because of Allah's will. Is that true?
It's because of your own self too.
So it's not because of Allah's will.
Because this is a very vast topic, and I'm sure someone will be able to explain to you in the proper details, because I don't really want to say something wrong.
Let's ask the question another way, because everyone can see you equivocating, right? Everyone can see you equivocating. But let's ask the question in another way. Is there something that can happen independent of Allah's will? No. Right. So if Allah makes you do something and then punishes you for it, I say to you that that God is a fickle, unjust God. That the God of the Quran is fickle and unjust. And you accept that because if a government behaved like Allah, you would condemn the government.
To you be your belief to be mine, yeah? To you be your belief to me be mine. Listen, you believe that the almighty, powerful creator was a baby at a stage.
You're trying to change the topic.
I'm not changing the topic.
You're trying to change the topic.
It's always about the Quran. But you people believe in something hell worse and disgusting.
Trying to change the topic. You're trying to get off the topic. Everyone will watch you trying to get off the topic. That's not what we're talking about. Is he changing the topic? Is he changing the topic?
2191.
You know what?
So what was 2191?
Breathing inside the vagina of Mary.
Well, yeah, but that's playing his game. You're jumping off the topic. That's playing his
And you know
game.
what? I'll tell you something else. Allah says in the Quran that they tried to extinguish my light with their tongues, but they'll fail to do so. Allah's light will prevail.
There's apostasy happening across the world of Islam right now. Apostasy happening. It's happening in Somalia. It's happening in Iran. It's happening in Indonesia. It's happening in Saudi Arabia. It's happening in Egypt. So here's why you're running away. Here's why you're running away. You're running away from the topic, and everyone can see you're running away from the topic. You're talking to me, and when you try to talk to other people, you're running away. And when you try to change the topic, you're running away.
Islam will prevail, no matter
So-
what you say.
so-
you know, and fair enough, you probably
Let
are
me-
more educated than me.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
am.
leave this here.
So let me explain to you a fundamental difference.
As a man,
Yeah, you're talking to me. Let me explain a fundamental difference.
just made my life.
Here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity to grow in knowledge. Okay? I'm going to tell you a fundamental difference between Islamic theology and Christian theology. In Islamic theology, the will of Allah is supreme. Allah does what He wants because His sovereignty is over everything. But in the Christian faith, God does that which is good because God Himself is good. And so He only wills the good. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Yeah? So in our faith, God wills the good because he is good. In your faith, God wills what he wants because God is all sovereign. And that is a fundamental difference between the God of Christianity and the God of Islam. Your God is a fickle, unjust God. And your God is a fickle, unjust God. And you agree with me. And you agree with me. You would condemn a government. Would you condemn a government if the government passed laws to make people do good things?
Every sand, every grain of sand.
No, we wouldn't. But if a government passed laws to make you do something and then punished you for doing it, that's injustice. Agreed? 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 See, everybody agrees. And you agreed with me. When I talked about the government, you said, yes, that would be unjust. So the only difference is that I used the word government rather than God. So when I replaced Allah with the word government, he agreed that that was unjust. But then when I put Allah back into the sentence, then he said, oh no, Allah does what he wants.
No. We hear and we obey. It's the difference between Muslims and Christians. We listen and we obey. We don't go further and question it.
You don't know anything about the Christian faith. Tell what you don't know anything about the Christian faith. You don't know anything about what do Christians believe? Tell me what Christians believe. Go on.
Someone who believes Jesus was the prophet of God. That's the Messiah.
That's not a sufficient explanation.
I know Christians that believe in that. And
every Christian believes that Jesus was a man who was a prophet, but that is not a sufficient explanation. That's like saying, yes, I do believe that. You don't know what I believe.
Was he the Son of God?
Yes, and that's why I said it wasn't a sufficient explanation. You see, you need to listen more. That's why you don't know what Christians believe, because you don't listen. You've got your little script that all the dawah puppets here use, and once you've used your script, you're out of bullets. You've got nothing to say.
They try to extinguish the light of Allah with their tongues.
And in Indonesia, Christianity is growing. In Iran, Christianity is growing. In Saudi Arabia, Christianity is growing. In Sudan, Christianity is growing. Christianity is growing across the Islamic world. Across the Islamic world. Across the Islamic world. Islam is rotting from within. It is rotting from within. Even your own Dawah gang, Muhammad Hijab, said that there is a tsunami of apostasy. Ali Dawah said there is a tsunami of apostasy. These are the words of your own Da'i.
Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the corruption and the fitna of the
all nice rhetoric, but doesn't deal with any of the facts. It's all nice rhetoric, but none of it deals with the facts. So what we've got is the fact that you believe that your God is unjust and fickle.
And you believe that your God...
What do I believe about my God? Yes, I do. Yeah. But here's the difference. I have no shame in my beliefs. He's embarrassed by his. Because in one sentence, he said that Allah was unjust, and in the next one, he took it back. Because I gave you... Listen, I'll tell you when. Listen, this is what happened. I gave him the same sentence. And all I did is replace one word. The sentence was, if Allah commands you to do something, but then punishes you for doing it, is that unjust? The word that I replaced was the word Allah, and I replaced it with the word government. And I said, if a government forces you to do something, but then punishes you for doing it, would that government be unjust? Yes or no? Yes. So there you go. You're admitting that your God is unjust. And you're hiding behind a word. All I I did is replace one word in the same sentence, and in one sentence you condemn your God, and in the next sentence you defend your God.
You think humans are the only creation?
Come forward, Uncle.
You're a nutter, you don't know God.
Go on, Uncle.
You don't know God.
So, now in our example, you agreed with me that it would be unjust for a government to force you to do something, but then punish you for doing it. That is unjust, agreed?
It's also the case for Allah also.
Great. Now, in the Qur'an, everything happens according to Allah's will, yes?
Yes, but what do you mean by the will?
Allah's will is sovereign.
Yes, but it doesn't mean that he's forcing us.
Right, hold on one second. Bloodfire. What was the passage that you were debating? The one that says that even unbelief comes from Allah.
Surah 10:100.
10:100. Let's look at what your Quran says.
The problem with your understanding, not with the words.
Okay, let's look at what the Quran says, because I contend that the God of Islam and the God of Christianity, the God of Islam and the God of Christianity are different. The God of this book is a fickle and unjust God who forces you to do something,
Don't jump to conclusions.
who forces you to do. Let me finish.
Stop preaching now.
Let me finish. We will talk. We'll do it. We will talk. I will let you speak. Let me finish. Okay. So that the God of the Quran is a fickle and unjust God. He does what he wills.
Don't preach, please.
But in the Bible, the God of the Bible commands that which is good because he himself is good. Okay, so there's the difference. In Islam, the will of Allah is sovereign and all-powerful, and it is separate to anything else, above everything else. In Christianity, the will of God flows from himself, and himself is good. Bloodfire. 100 and what?
So listen.
Surah 10:100.
Can I answer this?
Go on.
Does Jesus allow the murder that happens in this earth? He's allowing it or not? By his will.
He permits it in his wider will.
Okay, so he's permitting something evil.
Okay, so let's deal with that. Because it's a good counterpoint.
That's not good.
Let's deal with that.
Permitting people to die of cancer. He's permitting people killing each other. In the war.
Let's deal with that. It's a good point. I'm commending your point. Because it's a good point. But what I'm saying to you is that you're using a defense that is proper to the theology of Christianity, not the theology of the Quran. This is the theology. No, it's not. That's the point. No, this is the difference. The theology of the Bible is different from the theology of the Quran. Listen to what the Quran actually says. No soul can believe except by the will of Allah. No soul can believe except by the will of Allah. So that means that the will of Allah is sovereign. It is above all other things, above commendations of good and bad. This is what Allah says. And he will place doubt on those who will not understand. So Allah is responsible for people not believing. Agreed? No. So you're contradicting your Quran. What does this mean then? What does this verse mean?
Allah will. Hey, listen.
I wanted to record this fake Christian. He tell people to believe in stupid Jesus.
Allah says in other
When did our
verses,
father
because
call
you
his
have to
son Jesus?
read the whole Quran to understand. You cannot take one verse.
When
Okay.
did our father call his son
Other
Jesus?
verses, he says,
Show me another verse.
وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَنْ يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. Whatever you will is by the will of God.
Whatever you will is by the will of God. That confirms my argument. It doesn't disprove it.
Wait. Let me explain. It means that even if
Can you see?
I'm talking to him. No one's talking to you. I'm talking to him. Go on. Just ignore him. You get these people. Uncle, you get these people from time to time. You just got to press on through.
I see you on YouTube.
there's another verse.
Yeah. Uncle, you just let me stand there and you stand here. Right, go on, Uncle.
Jesus is a pig.
Go on, just talk to me, Uncle.
And other verses, maybe I did not pick the right verse, because this verse also explains the same thing that what you said.
Thank
There
you.
are other verses.
Yes.
I'm not a scholar, I'm just trying to.
Yes.
Another verse says that if you wish as an evil man, let's say, if you are an evil man or
Yeah.
as a disbeliever,
Yeah.
wishes to do something harm,
Yes.
Allah will make it easy for you.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes.
On the other side, if you are a pious person and want to do something good,
Yeah.
also Allah will make it easy for you.
Can you show me in the
That's
Quran?
yeah, I can show you.
Yeah, pull it up. Let's have a look at
I
it.
can't remember which verse now.
Because what we've got is even one of the own verses that you gave, the one where it says Allah will. How did you phrase it? I don't want to misquote you. Allah will something your will.
Yeah, it's Allah will make it easy.
No. The first verse, the one that supports my argument.
وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ.
Which in English?
Whatever you will,
Yes.
is by the will of Allah.
Right, listen. Wait. No, I'm speaking. I just wanted to make sure I didn't misquote you. So, even the verse that you gave states that whatever you will is by the will of Allah, and therefore, the other verse that you gave that said if you are a pious person, Allah will make it easy for you, and if you are an unrighteous person, Allah will make it easy for you, still falls within the fact that both your piety and your unrighteousness are Allah's will. Which means that it is unjust for Allah to punish you for something that He made you do.
Wait. Now, if you are an evil person, and Allah makes it easy for you to kill, let's say, this man next to you, because He made it easy for you to carry the gun and kill the person, an innocent person.
Yes.
He made it easy. Would that be unjust?
Right.
Would that be unjust?
Allah is unjust, yes.
For making it easy for that's your will. You want to kill him.
Allah's no,
want to kill
but
him.
your Quran doesn't say that.
Wait. But you want to kill him, right?
But that will, I'm dealing with your argument, but that will is given to you by Allah. Of course.
But He gave you
Of
both.
course.
But He gave you both. He gave you a will to do things good.
Okay.
And He gave you a will to do things bad.
Right, so you can understand the contrast. Could I get some water, please?
You are free.
Thank you.
You are free to choose whatever will you want.
Okay, so let me. No, it's all right. I'll hold it. Thank you. So let me.
So you are free. That's freedom of choice. You are free. That's what that means. The verse means that Allah gave you the freedom of
Wait,
choice.
which verse?
لمن شاء, for example, لمن شاء.
Can you show me in the Quran where you've got free will? So my point to you is, Uncle, and I want to highlight the difference, because we Christians believe in God's wider will. We believe that God. Allow me to finish. I'm explaining the difference. We Christians believe in God's wider will. We believe that God, by His wider will, has given you genuine autonomy, genuine freedom of will, so that you are responsible for your actions. You choose your actions, and God commands the good because He is good, not that something is good because God commands it. Do you hear the difference? God commands that which is good because it is good, and it is good because it is from within the nature of God. God Himself is good. But in Islam,
What's
good in having you killing each other?
okay,
What is the concept of the will of God first? Both of you to agree on it and then you discuss. Please.
it's a fair question.
No, talk to each other.
Yeah, it's a fair question.
Both
Can you
of
see
you
Jesus?
to agree
Hang
on
on.
the concept
Yeah?
first.
Jesus is the son of the
Concept
devil.
of God.
No,
Yeah?
the concept of
Can
the
you
will
see?
of God.
The will of God.
Jesus
Okay,
is a pig.
we believe
Yeah?
the will of God.
Yeah?
The will of
Take a
God
big
is not
Jesus.
an enforcement will.
Yeah?
It's a will related to his knowledge.
Well, that's your understanding. That's not the concept.
No, that's according to Muslims. What we believe as a Muslim. If the will of God is not an enforcing will that enforces you to do things bad or to do things good.
Is unbelief bad?
Yeah, look at
Right.
him here.
He allowed it.
Can you see?
Right, hold on one second. Hold on one
What
second.
do you mean, hold on
Because
one second?
let's look at what the
Show me
Quran
where
actually
the
says.
Christ stupid Jesus.
Let's what Uncle, you just have to ignore him.
Jesus.
He's never you just
should be
ignore him.
ashamed of
You
yourself.
just ignore him.
You should be ashamed of yourself. If you don't repent, you will perish. You should be
So-
ashamed of yourself. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? You should
So
be
the
ashamed of
uncle
yourself. You
admits
should be ashamed of
the uncle I'm
yourself.
gonna talk to you guys so you can hear me.
Yeah? A lying
I'm
preacher.
talking to you, but I'm
You are
projecting
here
my voice
always,
for
every
everybody.
Sunday lying.
Okay?
Deceiving
So
yourself. Telling people to believe in
the
stupid
uncle agrees that unbelief is a bad thing. Unbelief is a bad thing. He agrees.
The blood
Now,
of Jesus is
the
blood of
question is unbelief something that Allah
He's a liar.
creates
He's a
in the
deceiver.
person?
He is the son of the devil.
He says no. His Quran says
Anyone
yes.
telling you to believe in
Listen
Jesus
to what the Quran
is the son of the
says.
devil. Anyone
No
telling you to
soul
believe in Jesus is a liar.
can believe
Can you show me?
except
When did our father go?
by the will of Allah,
What is the will of
Eh?
Allah?
and He will
Can you
place
tell me?
doubt on those
on those
who will not
Eh?
understand.
You should be
So
ashamed
the
of
Quran, he
yourself.
says yes.
If you don't repent,
So
you
the
will
Quran
shock on them
is
what-
saying that Allah is the author of unbelief.
No.
So he's now saying it isn't. So what does this verse mean?
You're a liar.
Okay, what does this verse mean?
Listen. There is a difference between enforcing a will or knowing what you're gonna do in the future.
Doesn't say no. Look at this verse.
What we believe that God's will is based on His knowledge, not based on His enforcement.
Uncle, I want you to deal with this verse.
I'm trying to explain to you.
No, I want you to deal with what this verse means. Tell me what this verse means.
That you will not believe except if Allah wills. That means that you have to do.
No.
Let's say I'll tell you what it means.
What does this verse mean?
وما كان لنفس أن تؤمن إلا بإذن الله. It means that no person
Yep.
will be believer
Yes.
except when Allah allows this to happen. But
Right,
let me
go on.
explain. But when will Allah allow this to happen is when you yourself step to the, let's say, the masjid, read the Quran,
Yeah.
do something that
Yeah.
proves that you are sincere and you want the guidance.
Yes.
But if you don't want the guidance, He will not give it to you.
Okay, show me in the Quran. So what we've established is that we aren't misinterpreting Surah 10, Ayah 100. It does mean, sorry, someone's chucking crap at someone else. Once again, a Muslim is assaulting a Christian in the park. Once again, a Muslim is assaulting a Christian in the park.
He spit, the Christian spit on the Muslim.
Oh, you know that from here? You were looking at me the whole time.
The Muslim was doing this in his face, you know.
Brother, uncle, you didn't even see the incident. I saw the incident.
So the Muslim doing it like that.
And this is what we're up against. Even though the uncle didn't even see the event, he was looking at me the whole time. He's saying from this distance, he knows what happened. Guys, you've got to understand, the Muslim Ummah will always lie to the defense of the Muslim Ummah. They will work to defend. He could be sweating. He chucked water on the Christian, it might have splashed back on him. Where's your proof that he spat?
What is the proof that
I saw it, he chucked it, I saw it with my own eyes.
talking to me?
No, I was looking over there, uncle.
Both eyes.
I was looking over there, the camera will show. So, what we've established is that we're not misinterpreting this verse in the Quran. Allah is responsible for unbelief.
No.
That's what it says here, you said so.
I told you.
Right, show me a verse, show me another verse.
Allah,
Show me another verse.
let me explain to you. The will of Allah is not an enforcement will.
Show
Why?
me. Show me a verse, uncle. I know what you said, show me a verse. Show me a verse.
لا إكراه. There's an
Where?
in the Baqarah, in the cow.
Wait, go on, show me the verse. Find me the verse. Please.
Go to 55.
Surah 55.
Baqarah 55.
Okay.
I think, I'm not sure, but I think.
And what ayah, uncle?
لا إكراه في الدين. There is no compulsion in religion.
Where is that? Now, I want to explain while you've gone.
The cow.
Which one's that?
256.
Surah 2, 56. Surah 2, ayah 56. All right, let's go to it.
256.
There aren't 256 surahs.
Yes. No.
Which surah?
Second.
Second surah, 256. Let me get there. Okay. I like you, uncle. You're able to have an intelligent conversation. Okay. Surah 2, 56. Okay. So, it says, let there be no compulsion in religion. Truth stands out clear from error. Whoever rejects evil and believes in Allah hath grasped the most trustworthy handhold that never breaks, and Allah heareth and knoweth all things. Brilliant. Right.
So there is no compulsion.
Go on.
That's it.
Right.
That's an answer.
So does it not also say and you could maybe help me find the surah. Is there not also a surah in the Qur'an where it says, and Allah opens the chest of whom He wills to receive Islam, and He closes the chest of whom as if He is ascending into the sky?
Yes.
Which surah and ayah is this, please?
اشرح صدره للإسلام.
The interpretation of the previous ayah is completely wrong.
Now, just for the sake of those of you watching, go on. Which is?
I don't know a number, but it's ayah 125.
125 of which ayah? Right, bear with us.
Six.
Surah 6,
125.
125. Because what I want to show to you is that the theology of the Qur'an asserts the will of Allah as the supreme thing above everything else. It's independent of everything else. What? 155.
125.
125. Let me just show you. Surah 6, 125. 125. Okay. Those whom Allah willeth to guide, He openeth their breasts to Islam. Those whom He willeth to leave straying, unbelief, He maketh their breasts close and constricted as if they had to climb up to the skies. Thus does Allah heap the penalty on those who refuse to believe. So Allah is responsible for your belief or unbelief.
After you make your choice.
No, the scriptures.
It's after.
Allah says He is the one that puts doubt in your heart.
If you choose.
Surah 10, 100.
If you choose.
It doesn't say if you choose. Doesn't say
Because
that.
I told you.
Doesn't say that.
Verse 256.
Yes.
لا إكراه, no compulsion.
Right, so that one, no compulsion. How do Muslims use this idea of no compulsion in religion? They're talking about the idea of putting a dagger to someone's throat and saying, accept Islam or die. That is what they mean by let there be no compulsion in religion. That is what. Oh, so are you saying that I'm wrong? That Muslims are okay with putting daggers to throats and saying.
Down on your throat that tells you to become a Muslim or you will die?
Yeah, I'm saying that's forbidden in Islam. Thank you, and that's what the verse that you've read is talking about. Thank you. Yes, that's what he's talking about.
But it also means that Allah's will that you don't come to faith by compulsion, by force.
By Allah's compulsion.
No, Allah does not, enforce.
And you're contradicting your Quran.
No, we are not. We are.
You're contradicting your Quran. So,
We are coordinating. In the Quran,
yes,
there is sound verses.
yes,
And there is verses that have many meanings.
yes,
You understand?
yes.
So we have to take the verses that have many meanings.
Yes.
And bring it back to the sound.
So you use them all. Right, so show me one verse in the Quran. Show, no one's running from you. You're just a child.
When did our father call his son Jesus?
You're just a child.
When?
I think you're ill.
When our
Uncle,
when he was
take
born
a
in
couple of steps
Israel?
that way.
When was he called Jesus?